Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy. It's a pleasure. It's always an honor to be greeting you and bring this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. That's why I want to speak to you concerning how you must live your truth for all the world to see. Yes. Don't just speak, but be a doer, and what you do would speak louder than words. And that is why it is very, very, very important for you to stand up for the truth that you are convinced of. And you must be willing to die for that truth. Okay? And that is why I would have come to the place where I realize doesn't matter how woke you are, doesn't matter how enlightened someone claims to be, he can never, ever deny the fact that he belongs to a certain race. He has a certain culture. He grew up in a certain neighborhood and so on. I've come to realize as long as you're having this human experience, there are always certain things that you would gravitate towards and certain things you would not gravitate towards. And that whatever you gravitate towards and it makes sense to you, it feels right to you, it makes you feel happy, that is what you should live by 100%. And that is why whenever I speak of oneness, I'm speaking about like oneness with the cosmos. I'm speaking about like oneness with nature. I'm not speaking about oneness with all people who exist on the face of the earth. Because I realize just as a goat is different from a sheep, yet they are animals, so too a black man and a white man. And I'm not gonna stereotype black people or white people or Chinese people or Japanese people. I'm not gonna stereotype anyone, and I'm not gonna pretend to anyone that I'm so woke and I'm so enlightened that there's no concept of race. No, that's not true. Okay? Now, when I started YouTube, I had no idea of what YouTube was really all about, and I had no concept concerning how social media can actually really ruin people's lives, and how people, been really trapped through social media. Even though I'm here doing this video, I know all of these things can be very much detrimental to many of us, because still there isn't certain rights given to you to speak exactly what you really, really want to speak, if you gonna do it because you want, a certain amount of following, you want to make sure all your videos are well monetized and so on. Okay? Now, because I had no knowledge of those kind of things before, and I was doing it based on the experiences that I would have had, and I wanted to share my experience with the rest of the world, it's going to continue to be like that. And that is why, my brother and my sisters, I want to say to you that there will always be love and hate. I'm not going to fool myself to believe just that, oh, we are one, and oh, love and love. No, there's love and hate. And there will always be love and hate. There will always be separation. There will always be a class system. There will always be racism. It will always be. It can never change. That will never change. Okay? As night is to day, so too good is to evil. As I said before, as a sheep is to a goat, so to a black man and a white man. Okay, it will always be so. It can't change. It doesn't matter what you try to do or anyone tries to say. It will always be like that. Okay, because somebody have to play the part of the head, and somebody have to play the part of the tail. It can't change. So this oneness of which I speak is a different kind of oneness, because when I come to speak, I speak based on things that I experience. Okay, and I am not afraid to say that anyone who've come to the realization that the Bible was misinterpreted or used to keep a people to think a certain way, to act a certain way, there's no way they can see that and do not see how mingling your seed and marrying it into other race is gonna actually do the same thing. Okay, and I have to be honest with myself, and while doing this video too, I have to have fun also. Okay, I really feel it deep within for people who are actually hybrids, who they do not know basically which side to hold to. Okay, they're not a real thoroughbred. You understand? They're a hybrid. Okay, and I'm being honest. If I had like a white parent and a black parent, I would rather gravitate more towards the white parent because of privileges. And it wasn't until I work at Bukument Bay Resort I understand certain things, and that helped me to write the book called Bukument Bay Resort and the Messenger. And I see everything that people normally speak about that takes place in America and so on. I see it actually happen down at that resort where people with lighter skin color was given certain, more privilege and so on, and how the white folks were getting more money and being more privileged, and many of them were not qualified for what they were doing and so on. And that can't change. It would never change. Okay, so I'm not trying to change anyone, and I would never try to do that, because it'd be stupid of me to try to do that. I am here to encourage everyone to live your truth for the world to see. Now, if a person believes that we all are to commingle with each other, then they must be willing also to face certain truths. Now, I have always have a bunch of curiosity. I would like to know what was happening to cause someone to want to kill someone, hang someone, burn someone, rip apart the stomach of someone, take the baby, treat the crocodile. I want to know. I am curious. I would like to know. Okay. Also, I would like to know why, if me, for example, let me use myself as a black man, if I look on a white woman at certain times in the past, that I'll be lynched for it. What is the reason? These are things that people need to face and speak about and ask questions. So if I was to, like say, date a white woman, I would want to know all of these things. I will question her. I will speak a lot about race because I want to know something, because I have certain different culture and so on. We are so different. So I want to know. Okay? There's nothing wrong with knowing these things. Now, to be honest with you, I respect a white man or a white woman who doesn't believe in mixing the race and who believe in separation. I would rather shake their hand than to shake the hand of a missionary. I would encourage anyone to run as far as possible. Run as far in the mountain from a white missionary. I know what I'm speaking about. I've had conversations with many of them. And I know that many of them, they're deliberately coming to the Caribbean and Africa and so on to deliberately brainwash the people to have a certain kind of belief. I know it. Okay, and I'm not going to hold any hatred or any envy or anything towards them. I remember I was standing on a bridge in my country called Stony Ground Bridge. I was speaking to two white missionaries and I was saying, come on guys, you know, people have this whole thing around the world that if we are violent people, and you know that I actually know that you're down here deliberately brainwashing the people, because you know Jesus was no literal man. You know it. You know it. So that those who confess to me already that they know is the Son. Okay? That those who confess to me also that they are God. When I tell them that, when I say, hey, I'm God, who are you? And I was doing it on purpose because I was playing with their ego too. Okay? To get them to say something, because I know. Okay, so my brother and my sisters, we have to be honest with ourselves, okay? And we have to understand the head and the tail, okay? We have to understand that this life is a game, and you have to understand how to play that game. And you have to put yourself in the place of the other person, because if I was not of this complexion, I was of some other complexion, of some other race. And let me say this, complexion doesn't define me, eh? Okay? Let me get that clear, okay? I'm just using this to show you something, okay? I might have act a different way and think a different way, because anyone who have eyes to see, you look around and you see the races of the world, and you see who are more productive, who are more creative, who are more bringing forth, who are more at the top, and so on. You look at what they call class, and people here kind of seems to judge people based on material things, okay, let's say money, and so on. That would not change. It would always be like that. I know someone commented, okay, telling me about I speak about a place of scarcity. I had to laugh. Let me say this. When I come to this kind of realization, right, and I started doing YouTube, I knew, okay, that there were people who were going to reach out to me to be a part of their secret brotherhood and so on, and they was going to promise me any kind of riches that I want, which they did twice, okay, and I refused, okay, because I'm not that kind of person. You see, before you say things about people, you have to get to know that person. That's why from time to time I will share more about my own self with you and show you why I would always live my truth for the world to see. Okay, and I believe, as I said before, in separation. I believe in that kind of separation. I believe in a race. Okay, there is. You will as long as you're having this human experience, you will always be aware of you belong to a race. You can't change it. Okay, and there's something you must face. As a person who belongs to a certain race, you have to face it. Okay, so I'm making this video and having all of this fun, you know, because when people start to mention like a house down at the beach, my brothers and sisters, these things, right, when you really become more aware and awaken, you realize they're just here for you to enjoy for a certain time. Okay, they're not actually real. You actually think that they're real. They're not real. They're imaginary. Okay, it's an imaginary world. Nothing that you see is real. It's not real. I know what I'm speaking about. Okay, and I am more concerned in other things. You know what I mean? I remember I had an experience where I went to a magical land. I saw the other planets and so on. Those are the kind of things I love. Those are the kind of experiences I love. You know, flying when I go to bed. You know what I mean? That's what I really love. I love the dream world. I love the world of the spirit. You know, flying and going wherever I want. You know, flying, going to New York, going all America in my dream. I love that. Okay, you know, if I can go to bed and I could go to Atlantis, I can do that's the kind of thing I am more about. Okay, I'm willing to do anything to know more. I am filled with, you know, bag of curiosity. Okay, and I cannot, you know, say, yo, oh, my neighbor, they are whites and so on. If my neighbor is white, I want to have conversation with my neighbor to find out certain things. I want to talk about race. I want to talk about slavery. I want to talk about these things. Okay, and you know, white missionaries, they're very reluctant to speak about things like that, but they want to tell me about Jesus and to accept Jesus and so on and all of this kind of foolishness. Okay, so I have to be real with myself. I have to be real with the world. I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not here looking for subscribers. I know that there are people who would always, okay, be there with me, because when I look back at myself in that past life, okay, and I know who I was in a past life, and I was doing the same thing, and I was of the same complexion. I wasn't a white man in a past life. And so I'm not gonna buy into these kind of reincarnation foolishness that people trying to say reincarnate into other race. It's not true. I was doing exactly what I'm doing here. Okay, and in my past life, I've always had to deal with people who looks like me, okay, who would have sold themselves, okay. Many of them, they decided that, I'm gonna stay on the plantation and I'm gonna be with my master, and I'm gonna remain faithful to my master. I didn't hate them. I never hate them for that. Okay. As a matter of fact, when we had our great showdown, okay, the white general, he didn't walk with any white man with him. He walked with his dedicated and obedient slaves who went back and they celebrate and give our fast report of how the showdown went down. Okay, and my men, we went home rejoicing also. And I was humble enough to lift the general hand also after I would have kicked his ass. You understand? So I understand all of these things. Let me say this. You will always have the field slave there here, because we've been here before. You see, a lot of people don't know that. We'll always have them. We'll always have the horse slave, and we'll always have those who are free. I'm free. Okay, they have always been mystics. Okay, you think there were some men who were just, running up in the bushes and and gathering men to go and fight to get out of chains alone? No, it's more than that. So, my brother and my sisters, I would always be myself. And when I now started YouTube, I used to say, greetings to all melanated people, and some people reach out to me, and then I start saying, because I started to play the kind of game that they normally play on social media and so on. I've tried everything, okay, and I realized at the end of the day that social media definitely can ruin anyone's life, and you can get pulled in, okay, to a certain kind of way of thinking and acting and so on. Because it's like I was enjoying doing it so much, and sometimes you could enjoy doing what you're doing so much, that you want to stay relevant and you want to get your thing going, and sometimes you don't want to say certain things to hurt certain people because people unsubscribe and so on. But I'll be real, because look, I cannot be bought and sold. Money and all of these things, they don't bother me, and money and things, they just know me. They have never bothered me. Okay, I can give you so much story, right, of growing up in poverty and so on. And sometimes when I remember, you have human shit, feces, and mango trees, and the mango will be this close to the load of shit, and I will pick it up, go home, wash it, and still eat it. Up to this day, I don't pass mangoes will be falling in the street in my country, okay, and I would pick up mangoes. Like, you see me picking up mango on the ground. People here don't do it. I do it. I don't like to see anything waste. I'll do it, and somebody might look and say, well, they might think, well, he's so poor. No, that's just me. So I like to share with people. I have what you call genuine love. And genuine love is corrective, okay? You can't talk about you so love that you can't see things that are happening around you. No. That's being blind. Let me give you another story, because I like to tell little stories sometime, okay? And I, right now, speaking to you, I don't care how long this go, okay? Because I'm just having fun speaking to you. I remember one time I was walking and I saw two white guys, okay, in the yard of another Christian guy who he always go back and forth talking and so on. And he always accuses me of the person who was very influential in him getting into Christianity. He said when I was working at the post office that I used to talk to him all the time when he was a police, and I even prayed for him. And I cannot remember, because I used to be speaking to so much people, to a point that the people at the post office called me in the office, and they told me that people saying every time you come to deliver mails you want to preach and so on, people don't like it, and if you do that we might have to deal with it. I say, well, fire me now, because I'm not gonna stop. Okay, that's just who I am. Okay, you can't tell me how and when. If God is real and you say God is real and the gospel is real, you can't tell me that my job is more important than winning a soul. Okay, that's how I was. You understand? And still is, you know what I mean? Just mean I'm not preaching this Jesus bullshit. Okay, I know better. Okay, so anyway, I shot him as usual, you know, and I said, I see you have 2 Mormons in your yard. So one of the white guys said that they're not Mormon. I said, well, of course you're a Mormon. So the same time the guy looked at him and saw he had a book in his hand, a blue book, and he bookmarked the Book of Mormons. So I was wondering, maybe he thought that we are all illiterates. I'm just saying that, okay, because I couldn't understand why he was actually lying. So this guy was asking, but why you lying? Look, the book say the Book of Mormons and so on. They said, no. We are the last testament of Jesus Christ, okay? So I began to talk about some things, right? And then I started to touch on some issues as because the white guy was saying certain things. I said, no, come on. You can't come and tell me certain things about don't do this and don't do that when your ancestors did this and did that and rape and all of these things. And I'm telling you the truth, okay? For the very first time in my life, I've ever seen anyone look at me with such a stare that I can literally feel such a hate. It's like, after a while, this guy was turned into something else. That seems to me that wasn't even human. The hate, the intent was so powerful. And my other brother, black brother, he thought I was scaring the guys. And he began to talk about love and how we love. And I said, no, genuine love is corrective. You have to speak the truth. You're known by your fruit. You have to speak the truth. You have to tell people the truth. Okay, and he proceeded further to show that he has so much love that he's gonna hug them. And he started arguing back with me, because when I speak about this whole Jesus thing, he started arguing with me too. And I know these 2 missionaries was enjoying having him arguing back with me, because that's what they want, okay? And he hugged them, and I said, no, I would not do that, because genuine love is corrective. So if they cannot accept me speaking and showing them certain things, okay, then I can't, okay? And that's been real. So unless you want to speak with me concerning certain topics that you don't want to deal with, if you don't want to face yourself, if you don't want to face what your ancestors did, okay, I'm not going to deal with you. It's plain and simple, okay? I'm not gonna say I love you so much. It's like this. Could you imagine a person going to church and they love the pastor so much and they believe in the pastor, and they have the nice young wife and the inside pastor going in, and he's sitting down, oh, pastor, go in and talk to her. Okay, pastor, close the door. When you finish, I went outside, call me when you finish. You love the pastor so much. Just give your wife, my pastor, deal with your wife. You know, my brother, my sisters, you gotta be real, okay? You gotta be real. And I don't know what happened to people these days whenever you try to speak about race and you speak about issues and you speak about things that are happening. These things are not me trying to change a system, not me trying to change anything or change any world. This is me being more aware, because what awareness and enlightenment did for me is for me to see things how it is. To some people, their enlightenment, their awakening, because they're claiming that they're enlightened and they woke, okay, means, you know what I mean, getting some more money and they can live in a white neighborhood. Because sometimes I get that kind of vibes from people in America, okay, and now they could shop at the same supermarket. They could, no, for me, it's different. I start seeing things different. I start seeing the brainwash and where the brainwash come from. I start seeing the game of life and how it's supposed to be played and so on. And I don't want to keep it like a secret. I want to share it with others. Also, I realize that people are the same wherever you go, okay, in black neighborhoods. They're the same with each other, okay? And you can't run away from that, okay? if you go into a white neighborhood and you go in a black neighborhood and you see all of the phone booths in the black neighborhood, they're all destroyed, they all spray up with whatever these paint and thing or whatever they spray them with and so on. You must ask question. You must ask why. Okay. You must be always curious about things and ask questions. You're not supposed to be living your life in fear and trying to please everyone and trying to get everyone to love you and accept you. Okay, so my brother, my sister, you have to live your truth and live your life for the world to see. So all those people who believe in interracial marriage, and I have to get back on that subject. I know there's some people might say, oh, I rather you just talk about the Bible and interpret it. No, you're not going to tell me what to do. I've never allowed people to control my intuition. I've never allowed it. Never. And it has never happened and will never happen. That's why I never stick to any job, because no one is going to push me around. I always believe I'm supposed to be up here and not down there. Okay? And that is why, even if it means me leaving and going and living in the mountain, that's how it will be, because I'm not gonna ever bow, and I would never bow, okay? And I would never, ever marry to a white woman. I won't. You can't vex with me for that. And if I meet a white person who's willing to tell me that they will never give their son or their daughter to be married to a black person, I will respect them for that. Because why? They've been real. They've been honest. They've been true. Some people will shake the hands of a missionary, but they wouldn't want to shake the hand of a KKK. Because they're being real. Okay? They're showing you how they feel. Okay? And they have good reasons to, and you can't vex with them for the reasons, you know what I mean, that they have, okay? And these are things that people must deal with, and people need to speak about these things. I would like to have a panel, and all of these people who are running off their mouth, why don't you let us set up a Zoom call? Let us talk about these things, okay? Because they're very important. You want to do, brush them under the table. You know, I realize a lot of white people don't want to speak about some of the issues. Ooh, it's all about love. Ooh, you're white. And your kind of oneness and my kind of oneness is different. If you believe so much in oneness, okay, then if you have $10 million, then go and share. Go and share it. Give certain people, certain man, just take enough that you have. Okay. Some people have 10 cars, you only could drive one at a time. You know, but nothing wrong with having it. Okay, some people have a house that might have 15 bedrooms, but you can only sleep in one. But nothing wrong with having it. Nothing wrong with having any kind of abundance that you want in this world. But that doesn't what shapes me. I doesn't look for that for identity. They don't mean anything to me, and it's the truth. What I always wanted in life was wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and I believe I got it. Okay? And I am of this opinion that either I am divine or I am the devil. If there is a literal God or a literal devil, I belong to one of the two. Okay? And the experience I would have had in my awakening, it's not human. And that kind of experience is either I am 100% fully demon possessed, I am fully awake. And if I'm demon possessed, I've always said, and I would always say, I'm willing for any Christian, any part of the world to pray for me to cast out my demon. All I'm just saying, don't touch me. I don't like people to play you can rest your hand and don't rest your hand on me. Okay, just speak the word. You're going to read it in the Bible. Just speak the word. Just speak the word. And I'll speak my words too. Okay, but I'm not going to open my mouth and speak. Okay, so this very important topic of live your truth for all the world to see. Okay, it's me just saying, look, for example, let me give you another example. In my country, if two men walk down the road holding hands, there are people who would pelt stone at them, battles. There are men who would be shouting out, Bonaparte boy! All of that. Kill a batty boy! People would be doing that. Me? I go my way. I don't see you. You live your life. You live your truth. If that's your truth, live it. Why should I hate a man for being gay and coming out public and show that he's gay? Why should I? Why should I hate a man because he don't want his son or his daughter to be involved with a black man? Because of whatever reason they have. Okay? They have good reasons too. You can't doubt them. If a white person said to the son and the daughter, look at the prisons, they're filled with black men, what are you going to do? You're going to say, oh, they're all innocent. Everybody in prison innocent. Everybody's claiming that they're innocent. So there's a lot of things, issues that people need to deal with and sit down and talk about and trash out before you can talk about, oh, love, I don't want this. No, I love myself too much. Why I don't want to mix this? I don't want to. I'm not going to do it. It would never happen. And when I look at my past life, I've never slept with a white woman. And I have pictures I can show you with me and white women. Plenty of pictures. I wonder if they're still around. Okay, I took them out, I think 2009, 2010, 2011, so on. In Barbados, when I was going Barbados on natural bodybuilding shows, I have some pictures with me and a white woman. You swear that we was having sex on the beach. You see, so I have nothing against no one. I just been real. Okay, I just been true. There's so much issues that we have to deal with. There's so much things that people need to deal with before you can talk about, oh, oneness and love. No, don't fool yourself, people. Please, don't fool yourself. You see, a lot of people are allowing themselves to be influenced by social media. I've allowed myself to get influenced at a certain point too, with certain things. Like me just reaching out to melanated people. That's how I would have felt, honestly speaking. I'll be truthful to you. Because of my experience. Some people say whether God is white or God is black and so on. The most I can tell you is that when I was 29 years of age, I told our virgin of mine named Roger that when I turned 30, that something great was going to happen in my life. And it did happen. And when I meet the burning bush that doesn't consume, okay, and the man that walked from the burning bush, he was a melanated man, he was a black man, okay, just in this dashiki, this African, garment and everything, okay. That's my experience. There's so much preachers preaching. Gina Jennings, all them talking what they have to talk. Why share your experience? It's always good to share your experience. When I speak, I'm speaking from experience. What I experience, I can't teach anything else than what I would have experienced. Okay, and there's so much things I want to say right now, so people can get to understand me a little bit more and understand whenever I speak about oneness, what I'm really speaking about. You see, when you come out of your body and have a bolt from the skull, you realize that your identity is not really black, it's not white, it's not none of that. But if you never had the experience, right, you'll be saying things because you hear other people say it. But until I had that whole experience, and I know that, and I still have this human experience, I still be identified as a black man. So you have to understand that. So I don't know, it seems to me like there is, what shall I call it? A new form of awakening and enlightenment. And these people, I don't know, some people would call them fake woke. Some people would even call me that too. Some people might even call me a fake. And nothing is wrong with that. Because there will all be the people who love me and the people who hate me. You can't run away from that. For example, I'm not a Omar Johnson kind of guy. I'm not. Okay? I don't hate the guy. I'm not against the guy. Okay? But I believe if you come into a people and you're going to represent the ancestors, don't tell me about having a psychology PhD or some sort of qualification and so on. Don't tell me that. Okay? It doesn't just, sometimes people's spirit just doesn't correlate with yours. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. People feel the same way about me, and I'm happy about that. So, my brother, my sister, there are a lot of subjects that I would like to talk about and touch on And some people might think, well, oh, I'm being distracted. Oh, talk about how you should really interpret the Bible psychologically. There's so much videos I'm making that. There's so much videos, and there's so much more videos I can and would make. But I've always been an intuitive man. I remember when I was going to make that video concerning interracial marriage, my girl told me, oh, my Johnson, just speak and that. I said, you just speak and that? I didn't know. It's like, and I still do it, okay? Because that's how I felt. And I've always felt like that. I've always felt like that. Just that, you know, I was more focusing and speaking about the interpretation of the Bible and so on and all of that. Because, you know, when I come to experience, you know, this whole thing, I was more focusing on that. But, you know, I've always felt this way. You know what I mean? Just like when I was in Christianity, there's something that was just keeping me from the Christian woman. I just know that they wasn't real. I just know that, you know, every person have, you know, a side of them that is, you know, a kind of freakish side about them also. I know that we are, you know, sexually, you know, motivated people in some way or the other, except if some people have, you know, low sex drive or something like they're sick, you know, but any healthy person, you know what I mean? I know certain things, so, you know, I've always want to, you know, be real. I really want to be true, and I search with all my heart. And that's why only the people who search with all of their heart and all of their might for this God that they've been telling us about is the people who come to certain experiences and certain understanding, and people who they would support me. I'm not looking for subscribers. I'm looking for supporters who would stand, okay, and this same kind of quest to know more and to be real. There's some people who believe in marriage, and I'm not gonna discourage them from not believing in marriage and hold certain values. But I don't believe in that kind of marriage. I don't. No one is going to convince me that when I sign a piece of paper and I pay some money to whatever government it is in any country, that I'm having some sort of righteous sex. I'm not going to believe that. It's foolishness. Anything that doesn't make sense to me, unless someone else can come and really make more sense, I'll accept it. Okay? I remember I used to follow William Branham, a white man, and I started following William Branham even though I had the experience of the black man from the burning bush, because at that time I was listening to tapes with William Branham. I didn't know who he was. Okay, those tapes was given to me when I was 30 years of age from someone in the post office. They say instead of, you know, posting them back, and it would cost them so much money, I threw them away because it was there for years. So the woman said, her spirit says to give them to me, and I listened to them, and my inner voice tell me to after I found some brethren who did believe in William Branham and was teaching that, okay, to go with them until happened to be 7 years, and I come to realize William Branham was actually like part of the KKK and so on and all of that and so on, you know. And William Branham talked about the same thing about white and black people not supposed to mingle the seed and so on. Nobody argue with them, nobody fret with them. You know, if a white man speak about, you know, not mingling the seed and so on, you know, all of these black people will not go and make certain comments and say certain things. And all of that is just a part of the colonial mentality. I understand. Okay, I understand. Many of us, as I said before, would have lived this life. Many of you people love to bow to the slave master. They love the slave master. They want to remain faithful to the slave master. Nothing wrong with that. That's you. Live your truth for all the world to see. So those who believe in interracial marriage, I'm saying to you, spread it. Declare it. Be an advocate of it. I'll be an advocate of the opposite. Because that's just who I am. That's just how I see things. So my brother and sister, I would always be real. Okay, I can go on and on and on and on. However, I will come to a close here. But before I leave, I want to let you know that everyone have the right to live their truth. So go ahead and live your truth, because action speaks louder than words. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, is this the very first time that you listen to me, what I'm saying makes sense to you and it really resonates with you? If you haven't subscribed already, I encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, I'd like to encourage you to follow me on Instagram at BlackMadGuru, and also to check out the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously on my Patreon, and also to check out my website, alanhansonwisdom.com, where I have blogs, and read my blogs. It's just blogs I have there, about 13 to 14 blogs, and I plan to continue to keep writing blogs. And I'd encourage you to go there and even, leave a comment, so that I'll be more motivated, to continue to do more blogs. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.